There's so much nerd stuff these days that I'm just not. That's in mainstream, and I'm not.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I'm so removed.
The thing about that, though, is like, there's so much now. There wasn't back then. So everybody could have, like...
We got more weapon names.
Okay.
777.
Golden, right?
Golden Right. Fire Mirian. Rising Spectre. Sword Bouquet.
Rising Spectre.
Wild Horse Kick. Dragon's Wrath. Green-Eyed Lamp. Sea Dragon's Rage.
The Green-Eyed Sea Dragon?
And Burning Drive.
But yeah, and, you know, before it was easier to keep up with, you know, all, well, not all, but like a lot more of the media that is expected because
There was less of it.
there was less of it.
Of course, that's actually a discussion I had with Mike once.
Huh.
Was part of the reason we don't have legends anymore, like people who become like all these towering figures of whatever, is because we have access to so much more media nowadays that we can pick and choose. We're not only we're not we're not restricted is the word I was going for, to like only what we can hear on the radio or see on TV and such.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm thinking like even further before we were even born.
Yeah.
And, like the changes from then up till now.
Yeah.
Like we have the capacity to access so much more different stuff made by so many different people.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't necessarily there when we were younger, but you know the media machine wasn't as prolific.
It wasn't as easy to get access to.
Yeah.
To the more varied output.
Very much, yes.
Like if we're talking about Let's Plays, we could use that as an example. What we could have watched, if that was a thing back then, what we could have watched would be, here's PewDiePie. And now, because of the way that everything is so open, there's so many great options out there, and that we can all just easily find.
Yep.
Case in point, Super Game Friends.
Us!
Oh! But yeah, we'd be nothing. We'd be local access at most.
I watched Local Access.
I never had where I grew up, it was such a small place that local access wasn't really a thing because why?
That's how small of the town was.
Yeah. Like, our local channels were from Yakima, which was, again, another 45 miles away.
Yeah.
And that was the big city, which wasn't really big. But that's where our local channels came from. It's like, okay, local access is nothing because, first of all, even that city doesn't have, like, a TV studio. They had, like, the news TV studio, and that was it.
Never paid attention to this music before.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah. Huh. I never, like, pretty much never really paid any attention to it. Go ahead. Finish the
I
story.
forget. I don't care. There was no local access TV as far as I was aware.
Right.
And maybe it was because, local access was often something that was limited to cable. And when I had cable, I had way better things to watch.
True.
It's like, why would I be watching some random person make a really low budget, like, talk show by themselves when I could watch Muppet Babies?
Yeah. Of course, part of the reason some people would say that there was worth in watching public access is because you'd get the occasional, like, actually interesting different thing.
I guess.
It was pretty few and far between.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, like, oh, it was all hidden gems, like, but, MST3K started off as just a local access show.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's just an example is all.
Fictionally, so did Wayne's World.
That's a fictional example, yes. Like, I'm not really sure what else to say about that.
Oh.
I have a flamethrower on my knee.
Almost Live. I think that actually was, like, always local access, wasn't it?
I don't even know what that is.
Seattle's version of Saturday Night Live.
God, now that you say that, I'm like, oh, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. And I remember like being able to watch it a couple times when I was a kid and like not understanding it because it's very Seattle.
Things, Seattle being a way to describe something is a conversation I had with Sean when he was over.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the topic of the term and what it means, Seattle freeze.
Oh yeah, Seattle freeze, but
I'd never heard it until he told me about it.
Really?
Really.
Oh, we hadn't talked about it?
We have not talked about
it. Okay. So the Seattle freeze is when a person is standing on the street and then they encase themselves in ice so they can heal themselves from the damage that they've taken already. Alternatively, they could be doing so well already that they like throw a little robot out in front of them, and then it freezes everybody within a certain radius.
What?
What?
I'm just like, what is he referencing?
I'm referencing a game that you have not played.
That's true.
It's Overwatch.
I mean, I suppose I should have guessed that, but...
I'm like, I'm fairly certain you should have at least been aware of the ice-based character.
I know that she's an ice-based character. I didn't know she could heal herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's crazy. She can build walls that, you know, the walls can act as walls, but they can also like lift people up if you like create a wall under somebody. Mm-hmm. But she also can freeze herself and heal from it.
See, I didn't know. I didn't know that. Why is it? This was actually part of my problem with the PS3 and the PS4 controllers in general. I accidentally hit L2 and R2 on them a lot.
I feel like that was a bit more of a problem on the 3.
I mean, regardless, I still have that issue with 4.
Yeah, yeah.
And, like, it's just... I'm just saying, like, that's just a thing for me. It's like... I hit the L2 and R2 buttons a lot when I don't mean to.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what I really mean, though, is, like, when I set it down, the 3 is actually resting directly on the axis that pushes in, whereas the 4, the axis itself is angled out more, so it's not like if you put it on a flat surface, it's not pushing in on the axis.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And the triggers are curved outward slightly.
Yeah.
Rather than just being flat, so that also helps. Granted, sometimes when I put it on the couch and like accidentally bump it, I'm like, why did I skip ahead in this video I was watching on my PS4?
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Seattle freeze.
Seattle freeze, and how it's like a robot you can send out that freezes everyone.
Yeah. No, it's just that people in Seattle are
distant.
Yeah.
Is the quickest, easiest way to put it.
Yeah, it is. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Seattle is such a tech and art heavy area that it has a lot of introverts in it.
That was part of our discussion about it was like, you know, that's part of what compounds the issue.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it's, you know, it's tech and art, and that attracts the people that want to do tech and art. And then, there you go. That type of personality is often introverted. Just like how, like, 60-something% of gamers or whatever are, like, self-identifying gamers are introverted. It's because that appeals to that type of personality.
Yeah. Shit.
Do you know what your personality type is? I mean, not just introverted, extroverted, but like the whole numbers. The whole numbers. All 4 letters.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, there's letters that represent like different aspects of personalities, and it's like a psychological test thing that's been around for decades, I want to say.
I forgot. I actually really, if I want to make this stage a lot more feasible and not have shitloads of deaths, I need to take a particular weapon with me.